Zelensky has toured Europe in the past week, visiting Italy, Germany, France and the UK in a bid to increase military support for Ukraine. After talks with British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak on Monday, the Ukrainian leader said he wanted to create a jet coalition of countries to facilitate the supply of F-16s to Kiev. "I'm very positive about the plan. We talked about it and I see that in the nearest future, you will hear some, I think, very important decisions. But we have to work a lot more on them," the Ukrainian president told reporters. London, Rome, Berlin and Paris have no F-16s to offer Ukraine, but according to SAC, the European powers have an important voice in the international coalition. Kiev wants them to encourage their allies, such as the US and Turkey, to make deliveries, he explained. Zelensky's latest diplomatic outreach has seen him receive assurances from Western leaders that they will discuss the F-16 issue at the annual G7 meeting in Hiroshima, Japan this weekend. "Everyone understands that this topic is ripe for discussion. Nobody said that it was impossible. If you compare it to 3 months ago, when we were still struggling to get tanks, today everyone is talking about coalition jets. That is a very promising sign," said SAC. Russia has repeatedly warned that the shipment of more advanced weapons to Ukraine by the US and its allies could cross a red line, leading to a major escalation. According to Moscow, the supply of weapons, intelligence sharing and training provided to Kiev's troops have made Western countries the de facto party to the conflict. Germany and France do not want to send advanced jets. Meanwhile, Germany emphasized that it would not send fighter jets to Ukraine. The head of the Bundestag Defense Committee, Marie-Agnes Strack-Zimmermann, said that she and most of her Western colleagues said she would not see any Tornado or Eurofighter jets in Ukrainian airspace. The lawmakers then cited the complex training that would be required of Ukrainian pilots to operate the fighter. Instead, Soviet-designed fighter jets sourced from former East German warehouses proved more useful. Strack-Zimmermann suggested that if Ukraine were to be supplied with US-made F-16s, it would be a sizable contribution, although he noted that Berlin did not operate this type of aircraft. According to lawmakers, Germany is doing all it can to support Ukraine militarily, but cannot be expected to provide the full arsenal that Kiev needs. On Sunday, Politico quoted an anonymous staff member from French President Emmanuel Macron's office as claiming that any discussion of sending Western fighter jets to Ukraine was a bit premature. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's wish for Western countries to send sophisticated jets to fight Russia is likely to come true. One of the country's strongest and most influential backers, namely Britain, said it was ready to work on creating an international coalition to provide Western fighter jets to Ukraine, including F-16 jets. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak vowed to boost the country's air combat capability with Kiev backers. In a statement after a meeting with Dutch PM Mark Rutte at the European Council summit on Tuesday, Sunak's office said the two leaders would take steps to help coordinate the delivery of the plane to Kiev. Sunak and Prime Minister Rutte agreed they would work to build an international coalition to give Ukraine air combat capability, supporting it with everything from training to procuring F-16 jets, Sunak said, stressing the importance of allies who provide long-term security assistance to Ukraine. The Prime Minister did not specify which countries would offer the US-made fighter jets, which are operated by more than 24 countries, but suggested he would press allies to help facilitate weapons transfers. Ukrainian officials have been requesting the planes for months, with a senior defense ministry aide telling Politico on Monday that Kiev hopes to receive up to 50 F-16s from Washington and other partners. Since Moscow increased its use of guided glide bombs in March, the aide said Ukraine had nothing to stop Russian aircraft equipped with the bombs. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky met Sunak on an unannounced visit to Britain on Monday, where he called for a new jet coalition, an idea the UK PM welcomed. The concept has been proposed by Kiev and other allies before, with Poland also voicing interest in such a project after providing several of its own Soviet-era MiG-29 fighters. Despite the renewed discussion of a jet coalition, some Western powers appear reluctant to supply advanced warplanes. Although Ukrainian pilots are already being trained to operate F-16s by the US military, and will soon receive similar instructions from British pilots. American, German and French officials have indicated they would not be willing to supply the jet from their own arsenals. However, Washington has previously reversed course after refusing to provide certain weapons systems, including the Patriot missile defense platform and the M1 Abrams main battle tank, both of which had been promised to Ukraine. Berlin also withdrew after refusing to transfer its Leopard 2 tanks, agreeing to send the weapons earlier this year following pressure from allies. Russia has repeatedly warned that sending more advanced weapons to Ukraine could cross a red line and cause a major escalation. According to Moscow, the weapons, intelligence and training provided to Kiev's forces have made Western countries de facto parties to the conflict. Vladimir Zelensky wants the US and others to provide between 40 and 50 F-16 fighter jets for Kiev to use in its conflict with Russia, according to Yuri Sak, an aide to Ukraine's defense minister Alexei Reznikov.